This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, and make no mistake, this product does not intend to be your tablet. I've always considered those to be more of a companion device that's not trying to replace your computer. Most are easy to carry, creating that sort of notepad feel which only gets augmented by stylus input. Sure, you can use it for some productivity, but usually there are more consumption tools that can help you be creative every now and then. This Tab S8 Ultra can be these things, but a lot of the design elements make it feel like it's not trying to be. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow, and let's dive into our full review. So let me clarify, when I say it's not trying to be your tablet, it's because just like the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, there comes a point where a tablet just is too large to be a companion device. Think of it as the moment where you can no longer carry a computer and the tablet without the bulk being unbearable. Yeah, this is one of those cases. At a footprint of 326mm by 208, this product is just massive. Sure, you can technically use it bare as a tablet given how impossibly thin it is at 5.5mm, but if we're honest, most of its DNA is just yelling for a keyboard. For starters, at its 16:10 aspect ratio, it would be a pretty tall or wide tablet, which means holding it is most likely going to be a vertical endeavor up until you realize the bezels are so tiny that doing so while possible was not necessarily the plan. Nope, when seen vertically, the left side has all of the elements needed for it to dock, and the right has the cameras just in the right placement as if it was, you guessed it, a computer. And sure, there are contradictions to the premise, like the on-screen fingerprint scanner at the bottom of what would be a vertical UI, or the inclusion of a vibrating motor, which I still find kind of funny on Samsung tablets. But for the most part, it's designed as a computer, which means that if you didn't get the backlit keyboard that was bundled in pre-orders, I suggest you consider that as part of the price tag. My review unit came with all the bells and whistles, so I think that the smartest way to review it is as it's intended to be. We all know that Samsung and Apple have spent years wanting to blur the lines between what is a computer and what is a tablet, and the question is,
Are we there yet? Hey, that's not funny.
The short answer is yes, but sort of. To start, let's address just the elephant in the room. Yes, this is an Android tablet, which years ago would have been enough for me not to recommend it, except for the fact that times have changed. You have to admit that tablet software has gotten a lot more capable, so I can't really argue that I don't have the tools to use this as my only product. I mean, we even got the promise of LumaFusion coming to the Galaxy Store to close the circle, which is why I waited a little to make this review, and, well, I'm still waiting. And sure, some of these solutions might not be enough for what I do, but keep in mind I don't even represent a tenth of the average consumer. If your needs are to have a more intimate creative tool that can also answer your email, browse the web, watch content, communicate, play a few games, and you've stayed away from tablets because their screens were so small, then boy, this Ultra is totally made for you. And listen, this is not just any screen. Seriously, name one laptop with a 14.6-inch OLED display that provides this amount of resolution plus 120Hz refresh rate, all surrounded by a meager 6.3mm in the bezels. I'm serious, just name one. As such, the experience of using it is pretty fantastic as there is enough pixel density to scale lots of content on the screen at once. If anything, I find it funny that while I use this tablet to extend my Windows computer, this screen is doing a far better job at showing more content as it makes most standard laptop displays look really outdated at their usual Full HD. Switch from work to a movie, and few panels support this many certifications, and which only get augmented by these speakers. Though phones were large simply because mobile technology was. And then there's the fact that Samsung is one of the few companies that doesn't just get tablets right, but that understands how to maximize the use of a larger canvas. One UI 4.1 on top of Android 12 is far better at multitasking than most other systems. For starters, the side menu for quick app app pairs is here, allowing you to have up to 3 windows active at a time and helping you resize them, and which you can pre-program. That being said, I can't say that I'm much of a fan of how gesture navigations get in the way of how this trackpad operates, so unless you're planning to use it handheld, my advice is that you switch to DeX while docked. If this intends to be a computer, this is more of a user interface for that. As such, windows float around and you can resize them or snap them side by side to your heart's content. I can't tell you that the way DeX is structured is my favorite. It kind of looks like a Chromebook, but it's not, but you'll get used to it. If anything, the only thing I feel is missing is multiple desktops, like on macOS, Windows, or even Chrome OS. Now, over the course of the amount of weeks that I've been using it, I have to say that it is pretty snappy. This is actually the first time that Samsung uses the latest chip when launching a tablet, and since you've got lots of RAM and even expandable storage, plus a pretty massive battery and the latest Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, about the only thing I wish it had was 5G to make the experience complete. And listen, then there's the fact that you get an S Pen. It comes in the box, it snaps magnetically to the back, to the side, to the bottom. There's nearly zero latency, it feels like a Sharpie on the screen, there's a ton of software to support it, and best of all, it even works with DeX, so you don't have to be switching user interfaces to take advantage of it. If you're an artist who wanted the largest canvas on a tablet, again, it really doesn't get better than this. But listen, alright. Obviously, there is no such thing as a perfect product, and there are a few things that I wish this computer replacement did better. The first is that I'm really scratching my head over why there is no power brick in the box. Like, listen, I understand the whole environmental thing, but I can't think of a single computer or tablet that omits such an essential element, and especially when you kind of need more juice on this massive tablet than your standard smartphone or whatever charger comes in that box. I mean, battery life is great, but imagine charging this with a regular brick, because it's either that or you have to add more money to the price tag. Second is that, well, this display, while gorgeous, is not the brightest. I don't think it goes beyond 400 nits, and as a result, it's not a tablet that you'll want to use outside. And yes, you knew it had to be mentioned, I mean, the notch. I totally understand how engineering-wise it was hard to fit these two 12-megapixel 4K cameras in the bezel, but I think we would have been just fine with the ultra-wide for video calls that support a 1080p crop on that auto-framing and call it a day. Just saying. And also, please do not ask me for photo samples. I will not be caught in the wild taking photos with such a massive tablet. Third is that, well, Android isn't Windows or Mac OS. It's kind of like Chrome OS. As such, even if you do get a full Microsoft Office suite, those applications aren't as complete or as powerful as their desktop counterparts. Sure, they're pretty close, but not quite. This also means that if your workflow demands applications that have limitations on Android or its version of Chrome, well, you're kind of out of luck. Fourth is, well, Android again, little things like the cursor sometimes showing up in odd areas while you type, or the virtual keyboard bothering you in tablet mode even while docked, or applications like Instagram going vertical while docked, or the hurdles you have to do with the file system to share a file from here to there. Yeah, all the things that you'd expect from a phone or a basic tablet, which I really wish I wasn't dealing with on a computer replacement. And fifth, like the Microsoft Surface or pretty much any other tablet, don't expect this to play as good in your lap as a traditional laptop, even if those don't have the versatility of being good tablets even when flipped around. To conclude, what can I say? I mean, I think the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra is an amazing feat of engineering. I mean, it's gorgeous, it's powerful, so well designed, and mostly a joy to use in your typical basic scenarios. Anyone looking for a massive Android tablet that pulls no punches and offering the best you can buy should seriously consider one. I also feel that it can be a computer replacement for the typical average consumer as well. My problem, honestly, is the price, but not for the reasons you think. Seriously, if you were to stack up the cost of this display alone, I seriously feel the markup of this tablet is more than justified. Any computer with anything close to this panel is crazy expensive. The problem is when you have products like the MacBook Air or even the Samsung Galaxy Book 2 Pro 360, which are priced at a similar range and are offering full-blown computer operating systems for less money and give you displays that are good enough. And sure, I can tell you that there's an S Pen here, but the same is offered on the Book 2 Pro 360. That's when you have to ask yourself how much you care about the display alone. If anything, I'd say it's great to have a choice, and that's precisely what I think this product is. Another option to consider for anyone looking for lots of power in a package that's maybe less conventional, but at the same time more creative. I honestly think it's finally a time when Android tablets can compete against an iPad Pro, with this probably being the most extravagant and probably the best solution that I've ever tested. Now, let us know if you agree with my assessment in the comments down below, and hey, while you're at it, follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on my personal handles to see me go ultra with a tablet, but not take photos with it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.